Welcome to School of the Lost Tribes Radio, where the Word speaks not to the world, but to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Clarity helps generate the lessons needed to seal the chosen before the destruction. Wisdom of Solomon 3, verse 1. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and there shall no torment touch them. The righteous here are the righteous of Israel. Those who fear Yahweh, keep his covenant, and trust in Yahweh Shai. Their souls being in the hand of God means they are under Yahweh's personal protection and ownership, even if their bodies suffer or die. For scattered Israelites, this is a reminder that captivity, persecution, and even physical death do not cancel the promises. The elect of Israel are held in Yahweh's hand, preserved for resurrection for the kingdom and for the inheritance promised to our fathers. No final torment can destroy those Yahweh has chosen. Verse 2. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. From the outside, especially to the unwise, both wicked Israelites and the nations, when the righteous of Israel die or suffer, it just looks like defeat and misery. They see martyrs, persecuted prophets, and suffering believers in Yahweh Shai, and assume their lives ended in failure. But this is only how it seems. In covenant reality, Yahweh sees their departure differently, as the passage of his righteous ones into rest and into the hope of future glory. For scattered Israelites, this is key. Our enemies might think we lose when we die in faith, but Yahweh counts it toward our eternal reward. Verse 3. And they're going from us to be utter destruction, but they are in peace. Those without understanding think the righteous are utterly destroyed. When they die, they do not see any future for them. But Yahweh says, they are in peace. For Israel, this shows that the righteous who die in covenant faith, whether in ancient times or in our scattered condition now, are not lost. They rest in peace, held for the day when Yahweh Shai will raise them and place them in the kingdom. So for the dispersed Israelites, we are being taught not to judge by sight. Yahweh's covenant keeps his righteous in peace even beyond death. Verse 4. For though they be punished in the sight of men, yet is their hope full of immortality. The righteous of Israel may appear to be punished, mocked, imprisoned, tortured, and even killed, especially under heathen rule. But while men see punishment, Yahweh sees preparation. Their hope is full of immortality. They expect eternal life and glorification, not just relief in this world. This ties directly to the new covenant promises given to Israel and fulfilled in Yahweh Shai, resurrection and immortality for the elect of Israel. Scattered Israelites should see that even if we suffer now, our covenant hope reaches beyond this life into an immortal future in the kingdom. Verse 5. And having been a little chastised, they shall be greatly rewarded, for God proved them and found them worthy for himself. Yahweh calls their suffering a little chastised compared to the great reward he will give. The righteous of Israel are being tested and refined. Yahweh is proving them, examining their faith, obedience, and love under pressure, and then declaring them worthy for himself. This matches how Yahweh deals with Israel throughout the scriptures. Chastening first, glory later, captivity first, then restoration. For scattered Israelites, this teaches that our afflictions are not random. Yahweh is proving us so he can count us worthy to inherit the promises with Yahweh Shai. Verse 6. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. Yahweh compares the righteous of Israel to gold in a furnace. Fire removes the impurities, leaving only what is pure and valuable. In the same way, trials and suffering purify Israel's elect. He also receives them as a burnt offering, meaning their lives and even their deaths become acceptable sacrifices to him. This ties to Israel's sacrificial system and foreshadows how Yahweh Shai and those who follow him offer themselves up in obedience. For the scattered Israelites, our hardships are part of Yahweh's refining process, preparing us to stand as a pure nation in the kingdom. Verse 7. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. The time of their visitation is when Yahweh comes to deal decisively with his people and the nations, ultimately fulfilled in the return of Yahweh Shai. At that time, the righteous of Israel will shine, glorified, honored, and openly revealed as Yahweh's people. Sparks among the stubble pictures them moving with power and judgment in the midst of those who are like dry straw, the ungodly and the nations destined for judgment. For scattered Israelites, this is a kingdom image. Those who suffered in faith will be transformed and active in Yahweh's judgment and restoration work. Verse 8. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. This verse locks the chapter into Israel's covenant destiny. They shall judge the nations. This is the promise that Israel, under Yahweh Shai, will rule over the Gentiles. Have dominion over the people echoes the kingdom prophecies that Israel will be the head, not the tail, ruling in righteousness. Their Lord shall reign forever points to Yahweh's eternal rule exercised through Yahweh, Shai as king over Israel and the nations. This is not a universal, everyone's the same doctrine. It is Israel being set in their promised position. For the scattered Israelites, this verse is a direct picture of our future role, judging, ruling, and serving under Yahweh Shai in the everlasting kingdom. Verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. Those who trust in him, Yahweh and his word, including his son Yahweh Shai, are the ones who will truly understand. Understanding truth is not random. It is given to the faithful among Israel. Faithful in love refers to covenant love, loyalty to Yahweh, to his laws, and to his people. These will abide with him, dwelling with Yahweh in favor and closeness. Saints and elect here point directly to Israel, those set apart and chosen by Yahweh. Grace and mercy are focused on his elect people Israel, whom he cares for in a special way above all nations. For scattered Israelites, this is personal. If we trust, love, and remain faithful, we are the ones Yahweh is caring for and preparing for the kingdom. Verse 10. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord. In contrast to the righteous of Israel, the ungodly, both wicked Israelites and heathens, are punished according to their own imaginations. Their own evil ideas and plans bring judgment onto them. They neglect the righteous, ignoring, despising, or persecuting those Israelites who walk in the covenant, and they have forsaken the Lord, meaning they abandoned Yahweh's law and his promises. For Israel, this is a warning. Forsaking Yahweh and mistreating his faithful ones brings punishment, not blessing. For scattered Israelites, we must make sure we are not on the side of those who neglect the righteous and reject Yahweh. Verse 11. For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable, and their hope is vain, their labors unfruitful, and their works unprofitable. Wisdom and nurture. Here are Yahweh's instruction and training, the covenant teachings given to Israel. Whoever despises this, refuses to be taught by Yahweh, ends up miserable. Their hope is empty, their work bears no lasting fruit, and everything they do is ultimately unprofitable. For Israel, this explains why turning away from the law and the prophets leads to national misery and personal emptiness. For the scattered Israelites today, chasing worldly philosophy and rejecting Yahweh's wisdom will never produce the blessing and stability the covenant offers. Verse 12. Their wives are foolish and their children wicked. The ungodly man's rejection of Yahweh's wisdom affects his whole house. Foolishness in the wives and wickedness in the children show a corrupted family structure. Among Israel, when the head of the house turns from the covenant, the family often follows into confusion and disobedience. This is not just random. It is the fruit of despising Yahweh's nurture. For scattered Israelites, this verse is a sober reminder that if we reject the covenant, we pass instability and wicked patterns down through our families. Verse 13. Their offspring is cursed. Wherefore blessed is the barren that is undefiled, which hath not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. The offspring of the ungodly, those who live in sin and covenant breaking, are described as cursed, because they are born into a line that walks against Yahweh. In contrast, the barren woman who is undefiled, who has not joined herself to sin and wickedness, is called blessed. Even if she has no children now, she will have fruit in the visitation of souls. When Yahweh visits in judgment and reward, her righteousness will be honored, and she will be fruitful in a spiritual sense. For Israel, this shows that holiness is better than unclean fertility. For scattered Israelites, it teaches that staying undefiled in a sinful environment is honored by Yahweh, and true fruit comes in the day of his visitation. Verse 14. And blessed is the eunuch, which with his hands hath wrought no iniquity, nor imagined wicked things against God. For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith, and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord more acceptable to his mind. The eunuch in Israel could feel cut off physically, unable to have children. But this verse shows Yahweh values righteousness over physical ability. The eunuch who does no iniquity and refuses wicked thoughts against Yahweh is blessed. To him Yahweh gives a special gift of faith and an inheritance in the temple of the Lord. That means even those who seem disadvantaged outwardly are promised a place in Yahweh's house if they are faithful. For scattered Israelites, this foreshadows how Yahweh Shai opens the way for faithful Israelites, regardless of status, to have a spiritual inheritance and place in the true temple, ultimately the kingdom and spiritual house of Israel. Verse 15. For glorious is the fruit of good labors, and the root of wisdom shall never fall away. Yahweh affirms that the outcome of good labors, covenant obedience, righteous works, faith in Yahweh Shai, is glorious. It will be seen and rewarded. The root of wisdom, Yahweh's own wisdom implanted in his people, will not die or be uprooted. For Israel, this means that no matter how long the scattering and affliction last, Yahweh's wisdom and plan in his elect will stand. For the dispersed Israelites, this gives confidence. Our labor in righteousness is not wasted. It is rooted in something that cannot fall away, Yahweh's eternal wisdom and his covenant. Verse 16. As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. Children of adulterers refers both to literal adultery and to spiritual adultery, Israel mixing with idols and the ways of the nations. The seed of an unrighteous bed speaks of offspring produced in rebellion and lawlessness. Yahweh declares they shall not come to their perfection. They will not reach the fullness of blessing or destiny, and will be rooted out. For Israel, this is a warning that living in covenant-breaking relationships and lifestyles has generational consequences. For scattered Israelites, it calls us to purity and faithfulness, so our seed can be part of the perfected, restored nation under Yahweh Shai. Verse 17. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. Even if the wicked line of adulterers lives many years, Yahweh says they will be nothing regarded, no honor, no esteem from him. Their old age will lack glory. For Israel, this shows that long life alone is not proof of Yahweh's favor. Honor comes from covenant faithfulness, not from mere survival. Many among our people may live out their days, but without repentance and righteousness, their end is shame. For scattered Israelites, this reminds us to seek honor from Yahweh in the end, not just length of days in captivity. Verse 18. Or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. If that wicked line dies young, they still have no hope and no comfort when Yahweh brings trial and judgment. Whether they live long or die quickly, without covenant faith and obedience, there is no ultimate comfort. For Israel, this shows that only those who stand in Yahweh's promises through Yahweh Shai have true hope in the day of trial, the times of judgment, tribulation, and final reckoning. For the scattered Israelites, our comfort is not in length of present life, but in being counted among the righteous when Yahweh visits. Verse 19. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. This sums up the contrast with the righteous. While the righteous of Israel end in peace, glory, and immortality, the unrighteous generation, those who live in covenant-breaking, oppression, idolatry, and unbelief, face a horrible end, shame, judgment, and exclusion from the kingdom. For Israel, this is a national warning and a personal one. For the scattered Israelites today, we are being shown a clear choice: endure a little chastening now, and be greatly rewarded with rulership and immortality, or follow the ways of the ungodly and share in their horrible end. Wisdom of Solomon 3 is, therefore, a comfort to the elect of Israel and a warning to the rebellious, all within the framework of Yahweh's covenants and the coming reign of Yahweh Shai,